Hi, welcome to the Personal History Hub. This video today is the 11th Civil Rights Content video, and it's going to be on the James Meredith case. So what actually was the James Meredith case? Who was James Meredith? So between 1956 and 1962, some southern universities had desegregated without much trouble. In Georgia in 1961, the governor and university officials called on students to just accept the situation. So they were kind of in support of it. In 1962, East Carolina University took its first black student with very little violence. Also in 1962, James Meredith reapplied to the University of Mississippi, which was often known as Ole Miss, which had rejected him back in May 1961 because the university did not want any black students. The NAACP has challenged his rejection, arguing that it was because he was black. So the NAACP got involved in this one. In June 1962, the Supreme Court ordered the university to admit him. University officials and Ross Barnett, who was the state's governor, Mississippi's governor, disobeyed the Supreme Court ruling by physically stopping Meredith from registering. Barnett and several of the officials were white citizen council members. Okay, so there's Meredith trying to enrol in a mob surrounding him. So on the 30th of September, Meredith returned to register because of the Supreme Court ruling, accompanied by about 500 federal officers. A mob of over 3,000, many armed, attacked these federal officers. President Kennedy then spoke on TV and radio, calling for calm, but he was ignored. The mob chanted in favour of Barnett and against the federal government. State police did very little to stop cars full or armed men from racing into town. Fires were started and streetlights were shot out, bricks, firebombs and other missiles were thrown and guns were fired. The marshals could only use tear gas. 2 civilians died, and somewhere between 245 and 375 civilians and demonstrators were injured. Over 160 federal marshals were badly injured, and 28 of them were shot. Kennedy was forced to send in 2,000 federal troops who eventually stopped the rioting. So this is the first time that President Kennedy gets involved in a civil rights issue directly. Black activists called the event the Battle of Oxford, as Oxford was the site of the university. Meredith registered on the 1st of October, and over 300 troops remained on campus and guarded him for the whole time where it took him to graduate. So there's Meredith with the news article that he was going to be allowed to enrol. If you're listening, don't forget to subscribe to the Personal History Hub, and the next video is going to be on how much progress had actually been made by 1962. So we're going to be evaluating everything we've looked at so far.